of what happened with our 32 and 32 series. I'm glad we're talking about running backs because that plays right into the next player in our now out of order 32 for 32. So before I tell you who our 32 for 32 player is today, I got to tell you what happened while I was gone. I gave Anthony and Earl very simple instructions. You start at 32, you go to 31, you go to 30, and we work our way backwards all the way up. We have a spreadsheet. I have my rankings. I have Anthony's rankings. I have Earl's rankings. I wish I could show you guys my screen, but just to paint you a picture, the rankings are numbered 1 through 32. My name's in orange. The whole top line is in orange. Anthony's name's in orange. Earl's name's in orange. And then I have total order in green. Why? Because that's probably the total order. So on the fourth column of this spreadsheet, and just so you guys can see, I'm going to hold my laptop up. I don't know if you can see colors. I don't have enough hands to move.
I can hear Earl laughing in there.
Yeah, Earl's laughing. I only have 2 hands. I need 5 hands to move the camera and adjust. But just so you know, everything's in orange. Anthony, would you like to hold this up for me while I'm doing this? The top line is in – yeah, you're not going to see it, whatever.
We can't see it. Don't worry about
it. Top line's in orange. Green is for total.
Yeah, green is the number that you're going to focus on.
Yes. Instead – Anthony and Earl were looking at the total or the players ranked properly, but instead of looking to the right at the total of the proper order.
That explains a lot.
They were looking at the left to Earl's order. So they were looking at the players, not in the total aggregation of it all.
Right.
So we have done numbers 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 22, 17, 19, and 14 so far.
It's funny.
That explains it.
First of all, I was saying all last week to the knucklehead twins.
Who did this list? We kept saying it for Friday when I was in.
This doesn't seem right.
This list is way off.
This is too high. This guy's
too high. This guy's too low.
This guy should be way higher than
now
this.
We get it.
So, yes, they were not looking at the aggregated. They were looking at the aggregated list of players ranked with the numbers with someone's individual list and trying to make it work.
What you're saying is Ernst & Young were not involved.
Right.
There were no accounting firms.
Here's what make it worse, though. Here's what make it worse, because Will said it about 2 or 3 times. Who made this list? And pre-production, while me and Anthony was preparing for the show, I turned to Anthony and go, "Man, this list look weird. This list don't make no sense. But I'm not here to question it. I'm just here to do my job."
You should have questioned
I was like,
it.
Mike makes the list. I don't know. I just screenshot it and took it from there.
Jeez.
So the way
that
Anthony
explains so much. Though.
The way Anthony screenshotted it was he had the numbers to the left and the player to the right without having any of the total column in the screenshot they were reading off of. So for people who were like, how is player X so low? Well, he wasn't. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to go.
I think the whole thing has to be scrapped now.
Well, we can't do 32 and 23 is the issue. We're committed to the bit 32 for 32. So we're going to go with the players we haven't used. And today is Jerome Ford. And we're going to fill in.
So wait a second.
Yes.
So give us what the guys they've already done. Tell us where they should have been, and then start with the lowest ranked guy that we haven't done yet.
And
right?
that is what we will do.
Okay.
Starting today.
But can you tell us where those guys should have been that they screwed up?
Yes. So Cedric Tillman was properly put at 32.
Okay.
Jordan Akins properly put, or Atkins. Is it Atkins or Akins? I get it wrong every time. Akins. He was number 31. That was correct.
So there was already a mistake made, but okay, that's by you guys.
No, those two were right. We did those.
But it's a mistake because Jordan Akins shouldn't be in the top 32. But go ahead.
Jack Conklin was number 30. Taki was number 29. Next, Steve. McLeod was 28. This is where it's wrong. This is how we did it. This is not the order. Cade York was technically.
Anthony Walker had to be way higher.
Anthony Walker was 24. Cade York was 19.
Okay, I thought Cade York was way low on that. Pochich should have been higher too.
Pochich was 25. No, Pochich was right, actually.
No, that's wrong. You guys are wrong. Okay, go
ahead. And DPJ, which is on the next one, and I guess they did DPJ on Friday. DPJ we had at number 18.
That's even worse.
Yeah, we thought he was too high at 24.
Man.
Really?
Yes.
Well, explain that. Tell me that.
You missed Friday's show. You have to go back and pull Friday's show.
Yeah.
So our rankings for DPJ personally, I had him 21st, Anthony had him 14th, and Earl had him 20th. So when you average those together. Anthony, you want to tell him why you had
Anthony
DPJ at
smoking
14?
crack when he came up with this
I
list?
don't know what happened to those lists.
Math.
This has been the worst promotion in the history of promotions.
And it was the easiest.
It was.
It's like 30. Pick 32 people and just pick them from worst to best.
By the way, I got to know who Anthony had 15, 16, 17. If he had DPJ 14.
Anthony, can I read it? Are you cool with that?
DPJ love.
He had Delpit 15th, Jed Wills. No, I take that back. Sorry.
Yeah.
See, you can't read it
Mike
either.
can't
He had Delpit at 16. He had Delpit at 16. Who did you have at 15, Anthony?
I would like to go on record. He can't read
Oh,
his own
he had Cade
spreadsheet.
York. No, I just don't have it sorted in that way. He had Cade York at 15.
Okay. Cade York 15, Delpit 16, and who at 17?
Thornhill.
Yeah. I think those guys are all more important than DPJ, but whatever.
I just want to say it's the effort from us that count.
No,
We
it's not.
came in,
We're all giving
did
effort.
what we had to do, and we put forth the best effort that we possibly could.
That's not true.
How do you justify Anthony Walker at 26 when he's the
Hey, listen
only
here, G,
backer?
you didn't even want him on the team, man. Back up.
That is true. G was the king of just a guy.
When I found out that they weren't getting no more linebackers, I was like, I need a pulse out there. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I might be the Duke and D jerk, but I ain't dumb. You got to at least line somebody up out there. Who you got?
I don't trust Walker to stay healthy for 17 games. I just don't.
But
That's why I had him so low.
But that's the point. If he does not stay healthy for 17 games and he does not play, the Browns are in trouble.
By the way, secretly, we don't know this, we'll get to it later, Anthony apparently had Austin Hedges 8th on this list. And number 1, I just heard from Mike that Earl has Donovan Mitchell number 1 on the Browns list. He's had a better season than Joe Thomas has ever had.
All right, so for today, though, we do have Jerome Ford. He is next up on our list.
Guys, this has been a great segment.
Yes.
I
told
tell you right
you.
now. Steve, can we clip this and get this to the Emmy folks immediately?
Immediately. This is it. What a
This
best
is how
segment.
you do a
This
show.
would blow the Emmy
Best
folks.
segment.
After seeing some of the stuff there, this would literally
This
blow
is
their
how
minds.
we do it.
Jerome Ford, though, in all
Did you see the
seriousness.
Instagram that there's somebody named Howie, and his last name is Dewitt, D-E-W-I-T-T, and the Instagram post just has his picture and the song playing. This is how we do it. It just killed me when I saw it.
Oh, my God.
G. Bush, I'm going to ask you as the consumer of the most Browns Kool-Aid on this panel.
Okay.
Is 500 yards, 5 touchdowns realistic for Jerome Ford this year?
500.
He better
Kareem
get
Hunt
that.
had close to 500 last year.
No, he better get that. He's the
500 yards rushing?
He's
Rushing,
he's
rushing.
the number 2 running back. I mean,
412.
No, he ain't
412,
500 yards
that's a-
rushing.
412.
well, listen, 500 yards rushing sounds like, it's not that much. Per game, what is it, 30 yards a game?
Yeah, but how many backup running backs average 30 yards a game?
Well, what did Kareem Hunt have?
487
Okay.
last year.
Yeah,
But he and
and-
Kareem Hunt.
That's Kareem.
He's out of a job right now.
And Kareem Hunt
That's
didn't
Hunt.
have 500 yards.
I give him 412 and maybe 4 touchdowns, but that's if
I love the specificity. 412 yards.
the Browns.
Not 10, not 420.
The Browns are going to throw
12.
the ball at a higher clip than they ever have. I think.
And they talking
I think
about
they are too.
They're talking about not letting Jerome Ford be automatically third down running back. Like they're like, we'll use Nick Chubb on third down. When Stump Mitchell said that, I was like, well, dang, I haven't.
I love to hear that.
I love it.
And they'll have another back.
Guy
that they'll
averages
use.
5 yards a carry.
5.2.
I mean, if it's 3rd and 6, maybe he shouldn't be out on the field. But if it's 3rd and 5, why the hell not?
They-
But I haven't seen. Have you seen Nick Chubb drop many footballs?
He dropped one in the preseason.
What do you
game,
mean?
I think. And
Like people say he's not a good pass
year.
catcher.
He did. Well, I don't think it's fair to say. Now, in the playoff game against the Chiefs, he did drop a couple of passes in that one.
Yeah.
If you remember.
he's not
They
known
just
as a
don't
pass
throw it to
catcher.
him a lot.
Yeah,
They
he's
never
not-
did in college. They didn't do in the pros. I don't know that he's.
He caught a really nice one.
I'm sure he can. I think they'll throw to him more this year.
I hope
Baker
so.
threw a nice pass to him in the end zone against the Bengals. It was in the left corner of the end zone.
Yeah.
It was almost a fade. He actually was tied up with the guy. They both went to the ground. They gave the catch to him. I thought that was a nice catch. He can catch screen passes. I think he's an average pass catcher. I don't think he's below average or
No, he's
anything.
just not known as a pass catcher
Yeah.
because he's such a good runner.
Yeah.
And they don't use him that way. Now, they haven't had to because Kareem Hunt was in the backfield in the past. But
Right.
maybe they will try to get him the ball
My
out of the
opinion,
backfield
he
more.
will touch the ball. He will touch the ball, including catches, at a higher percentage of plays of running back touches than ever, in my opinion.
Good, he should.
And
That's
they
what
will
we've been
mix-
arguing for.
But for the second guy, I'm not convinced like Ford is going to be the flat out second guy and there's nobody else. No, I think he will be the primary second guy, but I think there will be other guys who will get an opportunity. This kid Kelly has been with the Browns. I kid John, right? Is John Kelly?
Yeah, he's
been around for a while. Like he's a bigger back. I could see him. I could see them doing a thing where, like, one time in a half they make him the first second down back to give Nick Chubb a breather. I could see that, him getting some carries. Or maybe there's somebody out of left field right now.
I think Ford's going to have a good year, guys. I really do. I like Ford. I think and look, if he's productive.
Yeah.
And that's how you can spell Nick Chubb.
Sure, but
because God knows he spends a lot of time on the sidelines.
I just think he's going to be more a threat in the passing game than the running game, for me.
I think he's a home run hitter, too. I think he could break a 65, 75 yard.
Right, but if you get him out
time.
Right, but if you get him out in space in the passing game, he's more likely to do that.
Much more likely to do that. Yeah.
I don't know why I like Felton. I don't know why.
He looked good Thursday.
I like him too.
He looks like a guy to me that the light bulb turned on.
And he can catch passes.
You know
certainly,
what though? This goes back to the running backs are almost interchangeable part of this.
Yeah.
With Dearness Johnson, we were like, oh, this got Pro Bowl guy.
I think he would have been a Pro Bowl if they would have gave him the carries.
Well, we'll find out now, right? Who's he with now?
Jacksonville. He's not going to play.
No, probably not.
He's like their fourth back.
But here's the thing. Here's what's so crazy about this, guys. We like Felton.
Yeah.
We like Ford. We like Kelly. Maybe they are interchangeable. I don't know.
To some degree.
I think there's a select few that are special.
Yeah.
Chubb's in that group. Henry's in that group. Taylor, I think, can be in that group. But other than that, like, these guys all seem to be pretty effective. So maybe the GMs are right.
I asked him before the game, or not before the game, before the show. I asked McNuggets and Bull, I said, would you trade for Taylor?
No.
I wouldn't.
It's not an area of weakness for us.
That's the crazy.
See, if I were going to do that, if I wanted
I looked at it like this. Think about how crazy they're diminished. You could say that about any other position.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Receiver, if you had a
top three receiver, hell yeah, you trade for him.
If you had Embiid, you wouldn't trade for Jokic or vice versa.
No.
But part of the reason I wouldn't trade for him is that I could just sign Dalvin Cook, and I don't have to give up anything.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook is.
I mean, Zeke is still out there, and I'm not sure Zeke isn't.
But Dalvin Cook was still great last year.
I know he was.
Zeke's in decline.
So
he still should be on a team, but he's in decline.
Still works the same way. Say you didn't have to give up no picks. You could just give up money. Would you pay Dalvin Cook $10 million?
No.
See, this is what I'm saying.
would.
I would not.
I would.
Not with Nick Chubb on my team.
So all right. If you're saying
hell,
right,
we
I wouldn't. I changed my mind.
We watched that movie for the last couple of years.
Right.
Yeah.
With Hunt.
I wouldn't. No.
So if there's one thing you don't want to have, and that's a log jam at a position that everybody seems to be saying,
right. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. But I wanted to sign DeAndre Hopkins, who's not as good as Dalvin Cook.
That's a different situation.
Right. Different position.
That's what I was just.
You got three pass catchers on the field and
but at wide receivers, you're rotating more guys.
You wouldn't do it at corner. You like, think about it. If you say, for instance, Jalen Ramsey came, he was available, obviously.
Yeah, you're right. I like our corners. See, I like our defensive back.
That just goes to show you how running backs are viewed. That a guy like Dalvin Cook, who is lethal, these ain't no chumps on the market. Jonathan Taylor has legit home run hitting. If you miss me, I'm gone. And think about if you could pair that with if I'm the Miami Dolphins, why haven't you moved? If I'm the Buffalo Bills, why haven't you moved?
I don't know why those teams haven't signed. I don't
either. I think they're waiting.
I think teams want Cook, but he's probably asking for more money than anybody's willing to give him.
Yeah.
Whereas Zeke and Kareem Hunt, who knows? I mean, Kareem Hunt, we finally heard something about him. He's working out for the Saints today.
Wow.
Because Kamara got suspended 3 games, and Eno Benjamin got hurt for the year.
To me, I look at the climate of the NFL. Maybe guys that used to utilize and know how to use these dudes to the maximum potential, maybe they're not in the league no more. Because, like, if you think about it, Nobody is running like the ball like that. The Browns were like
Baltimore and Chicago.
Baltimore, Chicago, and the Browns run the ball a lot.
Baltimore won't this year.
And they won't this year.
I bet
The Browns might not either this much.
They wouldn't have got Odell Beckham. When you give Odell Beckham Jr. $18 million,
Baltimore's going to sling it around again.
And guess what? When he get $18 million, you know he want the ball.
Oh yeah, otherwise
Well, he wants the ball no matter what he's getting.
But now he's a.
You're right. I mean, he's going to be louder if he's not getting.
Why you give me this money if you brought me in here to block?
Yeah.
By the way, you know Xavier P on Twitter?
Yeah.
He wants to bet me that Justin Fields is going to have a better year than Trevor Lawrence.
That's kind of a sucker bet.
It is.
I mean, I obviously feel if he's ever going to explode, it has to happen this year.
And Fields can run the ball. So even if he throws for 3,000,
right,
which is light, 3,000 is light, but he gives you 1,000, automatically his numbers look crazy.
Right.
And is
Is it better fantasy or better overall?
Overall,
I think it's the same thing.
I don't think there's any team in the NFL that would take Justin Fields over Trevor Lawrence.
I don't either, but I wouldn't take that bet. I wouldn't.
I'm not going to bet. I don't bet with fans.
Yeah.
But
I'd make a gentleman's bet on it and say,
Right.
listen, I think that Lawrence is going to have a great year, and I think Fields is going to continue to be the guy that he's been. However, what we've seen in the NFL, particularly for young quarterbacks that struggled initially, they do break through their ceiling. We've seen guys take a huge step back after they've done that.
100%.
And I'm still not convinced.
But none that came in with the pedigree quite this high.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Carson Wentz came in, people thought, but he played at a small school. I mean,
Right.
Trevor Lawrence,
He was
everybody
a
thought was
Heisman winner and a national champion.
And that
wasn't he?
situation with Urban Meyer was as bad as it could be.
But is he this
That first
has
year.
is he disappointing? Has his career, because he was Andrew Luck.
Trevor Lawrence?
Yes.
No, it was disappointing prior to last year.
I mean,
he turned the corner for me.
I thought he played great last year.
I thought he played great in the playoffs,
and
too.
now he's got even more talent around him.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
he's met expectations.
but here's what I want to see. How does he adjust to the adjustments that the league made
That's
against
right.
him? Because that's what the big question even on Deshaun Watson is. And, we saw the other guys that have come through and had a lot of early success, and then all of a sudden they're like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
This guy just got bad all of a sudden?
And there's pressure.
It happened to Baker, really.
And nobody had any expectations last year. Now they're the overwhelming favorites to win their division because their division stinks.
That can be tough.
So